Welcome back to the radio. I'm live in 20 seconds, so I'm gonna lock in. Here we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Ocean City Radio for Joe's Motoring Show. Here at noon. You have me until 2 p.m. until Dave Petty takes over for his show. In this show, we can talk about, we can talk more about the Gladiator Speedway and the action coming up on the 24th of March, as well as the F1 Grand Prix that have started kicking off. We can talk about them and what these new regulations are like, in my own opinion. After the outbreak, you'll hear songs from the bands of HM Royal Marines and Fleetwood Mac, The Chain. That was Rule Britannia, the anthem to the newest boxing promotion in Plymouth, MPCC. So, the Australian Grand Prix is done and dusted, and a lot has been learned about what these new cars are actually like. And I have to say, the racing in them is amazing. It does remind me a lot of the mid-2000s era of cars, being lighter, looking more agile, and allowing the drivers to be a lot more aggressive with their moves and actions. We had that battle with George Russell and Charles Leclerc in the start of the race, as well as that titanic battle between Ollie Behrman and Arvid Lindblad. Behrman beating Lindblad in the end, which is amazing because I'm a massive Behrman fan. But Lindblad really impressing on his debut, going up to third on lap 1 after an incredible start from what I believe was 9th on the starting grid. By the end of the first lap, he was in third. Oh no, 4th should I say, because Hamilton put him from 3rd to 4th on the exit of turn 11. But there's been a bit of a controversy in the engines, more specifically something called super clipping, which is something you may have heard in the engines when they came to the end of the straight, especially the one on Lakeside Drive just before turn 9 and 10. You may have heard the car almost sound like it had an engine issue, because it was losing so much power from the electrical system, and it went from, some of the cars were going from 308 kilometers an hour all the way down to 250 kilometers an hour, almost a 50 kilometer an hour loss in power on the straight at full throttle. And yeah, we have the Chinese Grand Prix this week. Hopefully the clipping isn't as bad, but who knows what it could mean for Formula 1. But the battles are definitely worth it, I have to say myself. But it is a little bit odd to hear the cars losing so much power down the straight at full throttle, I have to say so myself. But we have the World Endurance Championship Prologue being confirmed to start just before the Imola 6-hour race. So for those who don't know, the World Endurance Championship is the Le Mans Championship, with all the cars from the 24-hour of Le Mans racing in other places around the world. So that will be something to watch out for. As well as IndyCar, who just had their race at Phoenix, and the championship leader, Alex Palou, who has led the championship for over 260 days, crashed out at Phoenix and lost the championship lead to Joseph Newgarden, if I'm not mistaken, as Newgarden took the win at Phoenix. Also, NASCAR was at Phoenix just recently as well, and we had Joey Logano being very competitive until he lost it, as Tyler Reddick didn't win for the first time this season in NASCAR, after a very dominant streak of 3 in a row to open out the NASCAR Cup season for Tyler Reddick. We are also gonna have the Chinese Grand Prix this weekend, so let's see who can come out on top. We had free practice 1 today, and we should have had sprint qualifying as well, being released soon, so we'll get the results for that shortly. Also, something I should tell you that is on this weekend, the Rally Kenya for the World Rally Championship. It is definitely going to be something to watch as Oliver Solberg continues his incredible start to the season by outpacing Katsuta and OGA. Elfyn Evans slotting into P2 in Kenya, OGA in third, Katsuta struggling with communication issues with his co-driver, ending up in P4, but not losing a lot of time, as the Toyotas, as per usual, having the edge over the Hyundais and the Ford Puma. So we'll keep an eye on how the rally goes and who comes out on top after day 2 today. Next up is a song by Lude and Matafix called Big City Life.